Hey guys, hello, hello, hello. Hello, hey Mary Beth, welcome you guys. This is Ask the Therapist Show. I'm Leslie Gustafson. I'm a sex and marriage therapist and I work with men, women, and couples, and I've done that for 25 years. Author of the book Amazing Intimacy, Create a Spectacular Marriage in and Out of the Bedroom, as well as Fox Denver's marriage and sex expert here in Colorado. And I'm a mom, and I'm a homeschooler, and I'm a grandma, and I, just so you know, here's the personal piece, am talking about this topic today, hey Mr. Magic Mike, because I had, years ago, not really superwoman, and listen to this, John, I had an eating disorder, you guys, for 12 long years. So I know this topic about body image like I know my right hand. And I am grateful and thankful to have been recovered now for about 22 years. So my 20s were rocky road hard and also incredibly growthful. Sure, and you know, you can hear more about my story. I have spoken about it in keynotes. If you go to my website, I did a talk in January on how to have amazing relationships, but I veered off and went in and talked about my own story. I've also written about it on my personal blog, which is at WordPress. Women, Sex, Jesus, and Life is my personal blog at WordPress. And so you can hear more about that. But I say that to let you know that those of you who struggle with body image issues, I get it. I seriously get it. And so on the Ask the Therapist show today, welcome, come on in guys, invite your friends, absolutely invite your friends, because these are going to be universal kind of tips that will help us as we head into the big eating week here, one of many in the holidays that we will be embracing and walking through. And so I thought it was kind of timely. I have had, hey Joanne, thanks for inviting followers, I appreciate that. I've had requests to do a talk about body image issues, particularly as it relates to sexuality. I'm not going to go that thorough today. I'm just going to talk about the 3 A's. Jasmine from Singapore, how fabulous. Success with Jasmine, welcome. And if you are new, guys, will you let me know that you're new so I can start to make that personal connection that really is what I think Periscope is about, developing relationships, personal connections, and sharing hopefully really great content. And that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you create amazing intimacy in your lives, in your marriages, and all your relationships. How do you touch the subject of any mental illness with the family member who has it? Great question. This is an Ask the Therapist show where all questions are welcome. You know, it really would depend on what the mental illness issue is, because you need to consider when you're talking to a person about how you're concerned about them, whether or not they need help. It really depends what the mental illness is, because then you have a sense of what kind of receptivity or response you are going to receive from that person. Some folks who are not very reality-based, somebody who is in a psychotic bipolar episode, somebody who is schizophrenic, somebody who has bulimia and another manic depressive, if they are receptive, then you can, from your heart, with concern and love, share how you are worried about them and how you hope they get help if they aren't already getting help. Now, that's your best angle if somebody is responsive at all. Some people aren't going to be responsive. The thing about anorexia and bulimia, particularly anorexia, is when those eating disorders are in their most severe state, we really are looking at someone who has a thought disorder, which means their reality check is a little out of whack. And so they may not even be receptive. However, if they're not that clinically severe, there can be responsiveness and receptivity. Thanks, you guys, for the turkeys. Turkey Day is coming soon. So let me know if that helped you or if I can help you more specifically. This is when I answer questions, just a disclaimer, this is obviously not therapy. I am answering questions globally and what helps from my experience and universally. So it may or may not fit the specific person. Ooh, is it clicking it? Thank you. You know, I had a mic problem earlier too because the little puffy thing fell off of it. Thanks, Joanne. Is that better, guys? I'm all wonky now, but is that better? Yeah? Is it better? Yeah? Is the tech better? Anyone? Yes, good. Ooh, that's not good to have clicky. Anyway, I hope that answered your question. Did it? Thanks. Yes. Excellent. Good. Yep. It's a real struggle for people who, when there's someone around them who's really hurting, particularly with an eating disorder or manic depression, or other things, or depression, is how to approach it, because we feel complicit. I have a hard time being comfortable naked because of a body image issue. Not uncommon. Yeah. Advanced manic depressive and they're having schizophrenic behaviors. Then if they're not responsive, but they are gravely disabled, which means they aren't taking care of themselves, they're suicidal or they're homicidal, then you can actually intervene and get help by, well, if they're really sick, 911, but by doing something a little bit more intrusive, if you will, and taking them to a psych hospital for evaluation if they are amenable to taking a drive. Depends how sick they are. If they're really sick, it's really hard for the observers to not do something because we feel complicit. We feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not doing anything. How can I help? Sometimes we can help, sometimes we can't. But there, that's, and definitely get assist from a mental health professional, a counselor, a psychiatrist, to sort out the details in that if you want to do something about helping and intervening. Thanks for the green turkey. So let's talk about body image issues. Are you guys ready for that? Are you ready for the body image talk? The 3 A's that I think will help you if you struggle with any degree of body image issue. And that can be you sometimes just feel uncomfortable with your body, all the way to you have a severe problem, eating disordered problem, or eating behaviors, they're out of whack. Hola, Julie. Hey, you know what, Julie? I keep calling you Julie Sweeney, and Doug came in today and says, who's Julie Bogart? And I'm like, ooh, wait, I've been calling her by her old name. So Julie Bogart is in the house, and now Doug knows who you are. Yeah. Anyway, so let's talk about body image issues. First of all, this is the first A. The first tip is, I got a phone call, but yes, your answer helped. Great, great. The first A is you're going to ask. Somebody going to be my administrator here? You're going to ask, and I'll tell you what you're going to ask. You're going to ask yourself, when you start to struggle or you're feeling bad about your body, you're going to ask yourself, what is really going on with me? What is really going on with me? And this is why. Body image struggles are usually or often a cover for other feelings. Here's how it goes. The big drivers emotionally behind body image issues are shame, anger, or anxiety. Those are the biggest drivers, emotional drivers behind body image struggles. You walk up to a mirror, you're feeling, and you can be sad, but it's usually you're feeling bad about yourself or worried, or you're feeling irritable or angry and you don't know why, or you're not recognizing that you're irritable or angry, but you walk up to a mirror and this is how it goes. You're feeling those things, you may or may not be aware of them. You look in the mirror and you're looking now through a lens that is focused through mood. And the mood can be shame or anxiety. And guess what you do? You hyper-focus and you over-focus on the thing on your body that bugs you, the thing that you think isn't right about you. And you hyper-focus on it and you get mad at it and you loathe it and you just think to yourself, if I could just fix that thing, I would be good. I'd be fine. I'd be okay. I'd feel great. Not true. It's a myth. But it's not even about your body. It's about the fact that you're feeling something underneath, or there's a sense of not being good enough, or you're really, really fearful, and you start to over-focus on your body and try to fix it. Because you believe on some level that if you could fix your body, you could take care of those feelings that are incredibly hard, uncomfortable, uncertain, or unworked through. Shame, in particular, can be a hardcore driver of feeling overall icky about your body, or like there's something wrong with you that needs fixed. When the message, there's something wrong with me, needs to be fixed, we're looking at something, some kind of core feeling that's driving that. So that's the first one. Does that make sense? What is really going on with me right now that I am picking at myself, that I am over-focusing, criticizing myself, judging myself, or evaluating myself, or picking myself apart? Because it's about those things. It's about the feelings that are incredibly intense that you're trying to be rid of, if you will. And you think if I fix my body, then I won't feel those things. And then I'll feel all good about myself. Okay? That's the first biggie. The second thing is that we need to learn how to affirm, this is the second A, affirm and accept our body. And we can do that in some practical ways, but really, in light of my first tip to you, instead of over-focusing on your body, you need to broaden your perspective of yourself. And you need to affirm who you are overall, right? Does that make sense? And you can get specific around your body if you need to and say things like, God did not make a mistake with me. God says I am wonderfully and fearfully made. I have a really strong, capable body that does great things. I had children. I am a childbirthing rock star, okay? I can't keep an action, have to catch the replay. Bummer, Jess. Is anyone else experiencing that? Anybody else? Shoot. I hope that's not the case for other people. Yes, you agree, or yes, you are having difficulties. Anyway, so affirming. No, all good. Okay. Affirming, and you can do that proactively by even writing down things about yourself that are good. The truths about who you are, not the lies that there's something wrong with you that has to be fixed. So A, you're going to ask what's really going on with you, and you're going to get to those feelings that are driving your overfocus and your judgment and evaluation of yourself. You are worthy, yes. Second, you're going to try to affirm proactively by talking to yourself, broadening your picture of yourself, not over-focusing on the little things, those with anxiety disorders in particular, because when we're talking about some of the eating disorders, we're talking really about an anxiety disorder often that's underlying it. But even in the body image, we know from research there's a hyper-focusing and a picking apart that happens. And the lens is so narrow that we aren't seeing the whole picture of ourselves and we aren't affirming ourselves. And then accepting, and this is the hard one, accepting what is right now. And we're pulling more from the mindfulness-based strategies here. Mindfulness can be incredibly helpful. Accepting what is right now. Okay? Okay, so good. Yay, I'm glad. Okay, because we want to feel comfortable in our own skin. But it's not so simple as saying, well, if I just lost 5 pounds, I'd be all good. If I could just tighten up my thighs, I'd feel better. My nose is out of whack. If I just had a better nose, then I'd feel fabulous and I'd never hurt again, because that's one of the lies behind it. We think if I could totally perfect my body or fix my body, then I would never hurt again. And it's a lie. We're all susceptible to being hurt because we're human. It's a part of the journey. And the last thing is you get to take action, okay? Maybe there is something, just a little something that you can do to make you feel overall better, to help your overall sense of well-being. And so action may mean, I don't get enough movement. And movement is really, really helpful if you have body struggles. Movement, exercise, doing something, dancing, doing something with your body that makes you feel how capable and cool your body is, right? Movement can really, exercise in particular, we get chemical boosts from exercise, but any kind of movement will help us to feel like we are honoring and taking care of ourselves. Maybe you're overindulged in sugar, okay? And maybe you can say, you know what, I'm just going to pull back on the sugar a little bit because that will help me feel more empowered. It's not about losing weight, guys. It's about strength and health and being comfortable in your own skin and accepting what is and affirming yourself and replacing that old talk that criticizes and evaluates and makes you feel better. Yeah, are you with me? Okay. Any feedback, any questions about that? Anyone? Got a little chocolate heart? And how apropos is that? A little chocolate? A little dark chocolate? Because here's what happens when we feel really bad about our bodies and we think something needs to be fixed and we're not good enough. We start doing things that are more drastic, more dramatic, more unhealthy. We can lean in the direction of, I'm going to cut back, I'm going to start dieting, I'm going to deprive myself, which is just an absolute setup for not only feeling bad, but diminishing your health, right? Yeah, you do. And that's the anxiety that drives. Sometimes the anxiety behind the body struggle is like going, I need to fix it, I need to do this, I need to diet, I need to blah, 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 blah. And then you end up doing dramatic things that end up just setting you up for feeling bad, right? Does that make sense? Because it can definitely become an idol in our lives as well. And the idolization happens because in the anxious brain, when we are really anxious or preoccupied, it becomes, we overfocus, but it grows. We overfocus and we grow the anxiety and we grow the preoccupation. And pretty soon our world shrinks because our overfocus on ourself and fixing ourself completely shrinks our world. So quality of life gets diminished. I mean, it's just not even worth it, guys. But I realize and know full well that it's a journey, that it's a process, that you need to be daily giving yourself grace if you really struggle in this arena. You need to make conscientious, wise, healthy choices, that the journey often is very one day at a time if you really, really struggle with a body image issue, okay? So the struggle, not to be trite, but it's absolutely real. It took me 12 years, guys. 12 years, a lot of therapy, a lot of work, a lot of growth. And I realize that not everybody is the kind of severe, kind of in the severe camp that I was in. But even in the lesser, even as a daily practice, all of these things I have to apply them in my own life all the time, right? And be healthy and be whole in it. And to not let those triggers of shame, anger, or fear drive it. The Southern California culture, it absolutely played a role. Absolutely. Our world plays a role. And that we're not going to go too far into the body image thing because as Julie, as you're noticing right there, It's a huge topic, and I could go on and on about it because it really is a biopsychosocial, a cultural issue these days because of our American culture and the idealism we put around, and the pressure and all of it. There's a whole big package that plays a role when we're talking about disordered eating. Okay. Any questions, guys? Was that clear to you? I love the turkeys. And in light of Thanksgiving, I hope those A's are helpful. And here's a little extra added bonus tip for when you're going to the big meals. Okay, when you're going to Thanksgiving and there's going to be a lot of food around, and that can be very stressful for some of us. I actually, at this point in my life, absolutely love it because I'm a foodie and I love food. I love the pleasure of food. It's doesn't derail me anymore. But when you get around all of the food, sometimes that can kick in fear or anxiety. And so you need to kind of remind yourself that you're going to enjoy, experience, and appreciate the pleasure in food. And in doing that, that will help you slow down and help you choose wisely and keep you from overindulging, because you want to enjoy Thanksgiving. Yes, it's about thankfulness, appreciation, experiencing the pleasure of those around you, or if not, if you've got a hard, challenging family, at least you get to enjoy the pleasure of the good food. Yes? At least we got down. Slowing down, savoring, listening to self. We call that intuitive eating, where you're really letting yourself have the experience of the good food. Yeah? Instead of just what we do when we're anxious about it, is we end up not connecting up with ourselves, and we overeat and we just feel out of control, and then we didn't even really taste the food, but we ate too much and now we feel bad. Ugh, it's a vicious cycle. Yeah, can't wait for Thanksgiving Day. Me too. What are you all doing for Thanksgiving? we're heading over to friends, scarfing, yes. I'm actually going to do some cooking in the next couple days, and might do a couple foodie scopes, a couple cooking scopes. I used to actually be in the catering business. How is that for oxymoron? And so I'm going to be cooking some cream corn, some sweet potato and Gruyere souffle, some parsnip and Brussels sprouts with bacon. Because there you go, I just gave you those. Those are some of the things that I will be taking over to friends. And I'll be posting all of those on Instagram, guys, because that's where I do a lot of my personal posting, over on Instagram at Leslie Gustafson 1. Yeah, I know, because food. And I'm going to also do the sweet version of sweet potatoes, because everybody likes the brown sugar and butter version as well. So I may scope later if I have an opportunity, because we want to be able to appreciate, enjoy, and experience the pleasure of Thanksgiving. And a lot of that, guys, it's about the food. It's about the pies. It's about the experience of connecting in relationships, but it really is also about the food. Caramelized sprouts, yum, yes. So thank you guys for being here. Any other questions that are not on this topic necessarily? This is the Ask the Therapist show. So if there are other questions or concerns about other topics that are sexual, psychological, or relational, those are my wheelhouse. I am here on Periscope helping you create amazing intimacy in your lives. And we do that with the Amazing Intimacy Show on the weekends, as well as Sex Ed for our kids right now, and the Ask the Therapist show. So thank you guys for showing up. Thank you so much for being here, for giving me the gift of your time and letting me and allowing me to encourage, give over insight, and help you live amazing lives. Cool. I'm glad you did. Saw your body image piece on YouTube. Awesome. I'm glad you did. And go to my blog if you want to hear more about my story, which is, and that's my personal blog, which is Women, Sex, Jesus, and Life at WordPress. And there is some helpful content there too about overcoming body struggles. A couple blogs called Extreme Makeover in particular. So thanks, guys. I will be scoping later, possibly doing some foodie scopes. And if not, if I don't see you before Thursday, have a fabulous Thanksgiving. God bless you and keep you as He always does. Bye, guys. Thank you.